Tokyo Ghoul Chapter 111. Now, yes, I know what you're thinking automatically as you sit down and watch this shit. You're streaming yet again when you said you weren't going to do this anymore, right? Only reason I'm doing this week, and we have to have a little chat. So if you don't want to hear me ramble on about the events of this week in the Tokyo Ghoul chapter, then just mute me, give it like 3-5 minutes, and we'll actually dive into the chapter. But the only reason I'm doing this is because I feel bad that I took so long to upload the chapter 110 reaction. I only feel bad because of the amount. There was a decent amount of comments genuinely asking where the chapter, video was for the chapter. And they were courteous about it. And there was the other side of the spectrum that actually made me not even want to bother uploading the video because I had that shit recorded since Monday. I sat down to do it Monday. Last weekend, like I said in the video, if you guys seen it already, I was busy as shit. There was a lot going on in my life. It was pretty stressful. The whole week, as a matter of fact, was really stressful and fucked up for me. Like, this was a terrible week for me. So, as a result, sometimes things have to be prioritized accordingly. Since I already had that recorded, I didn't feel the need to try and focus on that and finish editing that when there were other things readily, time for me to do other things. So I didn't want to fall behind on anything else. That was my thought process on it. And I could have reasonably done it earlier, but it is what it is. So it's out now. I can't stress this shit enough, though. I'm never going to miss a Tokyo Ghoul chapter. Whether it's like weeks late, which is never going to happen, mind you. But no matter what, I'm never going to miss doing some sort of video on each individual chapter. So with that said, you don't have to like constantly berate me because it gets kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. Like, on the one hand, I love you guys for it because I know that shows me that you guys generally care and enjoy my content and want to see it. But on the other side of it, it's just the same thing over and over. Especially, I don't mind it. I don't mind the general question. But when you're going to get rude about it and be like, fuck this shit, where's the TG chapter? You can go fuck yourself. Straight up. Go fuck yourself. I'll get to it when I'm damn well ready to get to it. That's my little rant on that. But with that said, we're going to dive into this chapter. Cliffhanger from last week was crazy, dude. Yeah. The whole thing is kind of making my mind swirl with possibilities right now because very fact that Amon was retrieved and placed in this facility, right? Because that's the only way for me to look at it. Meanwhile, you have the Rise cloning, which I don't even want to talk about that right now, but all of it's kind of compounding right now and making this arc absolutely maddening to me because and I swear to God, if we get like an actual clash between Kaneki and Amon right now, I'm going to flip my shit. I don't think we're going back to everything with Juzo and Uta, although I'd really like to see that. I feel like if that's the extent of that engagement, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. Even though the Shinohara stuff was perfection as far as my boy Uta going in with it. But nevertheless, there's that. I'm still, realistically, I don't foresee anything else. I'm curious if we'll see Ure at this point. But Nato is probably going to move on to whatever the next phase of the little operation is. I'm still so hype on the Donato goodness. But anyway, that's my little intro rant. We're going to get into this chapter as I look at the many owl containers that's clearly posted up in Kano's lab. I don't know why up with this. Why are they inverted like that? Why is the bottom row inverted like that? Unless he's got like a separate, I mean, the top one seemingly is the same. You can't really read those though. But yeah, both the second number is flipped on all these, the W and the L. Let me see something. Is he in one of those lower containers? Kotaro Amon. As a first-class investigator, he's had many an achievement to his name. He's one of the greatest prospects of the young generation. He was. Yo, Eto. Man, I miss Eto so much right now. I really, really do. He was, you mean? I wonder if this is like indicating I mean, but at this stage, there was no way to know. So yeah, maybe I'm just reading too much into that. I was about to say maybe it's indicating the ones that were floppy, that were failures, but this is before Kano would have made that assessment. Yeah, probably just reading too much into it. After the battle at Anteku, in the 20th Ward, in Kano's lab. I need that context. It's obviously what's happening right here. Can't wait to see how he turns out, bro. He's supposed to be a fucking god, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm curious to see what his physical state is like now, and even more than that, his mental state, because after going pretty much full Kakaja in that fight with the Qs, I would imagine he's in a seriously volatile state. I don't know what this title is supposed to be. Set P. Whatever. Let's get into it, man. Oh shit, bro. Please, no more. So he's like legitimately right next to Sato's little cell. It's disgusting. I don't want to eat anymore. Give it back. Give it. That's fucked up, man. So you're saying he was privy to all of this? Why didn't you call out to the man at any point then, Amon? Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Could have tried to keep him a little bit more sane early on. Damn. That slow regeneration on the arm, too. My arm. Back then, that eye patch. Meat of what? The only thing you can eat now, my dude. That face. This is... Wait, what? Hold on. Yeah, this is clearly... What is he holding? Is that... Bro! No way, dude. No way. Is that a fucking tenderizer? And so he recognized... You see, that's fucking disgusting, too. Some intestines. I don't even know what piece he has there in his hands. But it's clearly a flashback, because you see him wearing... He has that mask that he had on that we saw last chapter, the flashback when Urie's father retrieved him from Donato's quote-unquote care. Hold on. But then, if he... No, but okay. Here, this is what's crazy. So it looks to me as if he's reminiscing about the past when he was under Donato. And he's tenderizing meat with this pained expression, clearly showcasing that this is the first time he's encountered human meat in this way. But I don't know what the discrepancy of time was between Amon actually finding out the truth about Donato and what was happening in the orphanage, and when Urie's father and the rest of his squad actually came in there and pulled him out. That's the legitimate question then, because you're telling me, and then never at no point has he ever mentioned any of this in the slightest. You're telling me he was tenderizing meat for Donato, because that's the only thing it could possibly be. I mean, clearly he was forced. He probably had no other choice, especially once the revelation hit. But is this just occurring to him now? Let me see his reaction to this. Oh, that's a dope panel, dude. He's seeing the reflection of the Kakagon in the toilet bowl. Damn. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm kind of confused by this. Is this something that's always haunted him? Has he repressed? Like, is it parallel to like potentially like Kaneki and it's repressed memory that he had no active recollection of. Like, I don't. But no, it probably all feeds into the general hatred he has for Donato in that way. That's fucked up, though. Actually, it's not. I'd say it's less similar to Kaneki and more similar to Juzo's backstory, actually, as far as being forced into that. Interesting, man. And of course he's not eating shit. Of course. Akihiro Kano, bro. See, that's the thing too. For him, that initial realization that he underwent the ghoulification process must have been incredibly heavy, especially off of that. So he can't bring himself to eat it. You will die. My, yo, look at that gaze, though. Those piercing eyes and that resolve. This is why Amon is a fucking lord, no matter what anybody says. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. They fucking force-fed him. That's disgusting, bro. It doesn't seem like that in and of itself. I would say I would judge that as a form of torture, strapping him down. But I'm not seeing any. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Realistically, nothing you can do about that either, which is really, I mean, mentally, that's got to fuck with him heavily. I don't think it's as bad as Saito getting the chainsaw brought to him, but I don't think Kano's at this stage of the process yet with Amon. It looks like we're making foie gras. I don't fucking know, man. Fuck French. Foie gras. I think that's how you say it. Not owls at this rate. Why me? Wait, what the fuck is this? Dude, where is this? When they were moving to Rue in the first place? But that's the thing. No, he had been escaped long before then. It's just a weird shot. I don't know. The scenery. I don't know. It's probably just some random location at this point. I don't know where the fuck they're transferring him to, though. What is that? What is that? A grenade? Oh, bro. That gas, though. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Yeah. Bro. And he said his name? Hold the fuck on, dude. This is the first time Scarecrow has ever said anything. And he knows him. What is it? Bro, you know what's gonna happen with this now. You already know what's gonna happen with this. Still don't know where this location is. So Scarecrow that broke Amon free from Halgiri. And he's looking mad fucking crazy in that form. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. So then, you know what? All right, this is the problem. This is what's gonna happen, because the very fact that he knows his name, the first thing that he's ever said in this series, straight up. That's as weird as it is, right there. But yo, okay, I honestly, as much as and people have heard me say my piece on Scarecrow time and time again, and that I do genuinely like the Heday theories, right? But at the same time, I had my own Heday theories that I wanted to come to fruition. I don't know if they're kind of included now, but it could still be the case. Physically, I still don't see it. But if he knows him, there's only a small few that would know him. And then at that stage too, though, I wouldn't be surprised if he had been. But that makes far more sense as far as Scarecrow's appearance en route during that arc. When Mitsuki saw him kind of like in the little rowboat. Maybe he dropped off Amon and Kura at that time. If he's the one that, and they've been working together during this entire time. So even back during the auction, they'd been in league. Bro, okay, wait. Okay, I got it. So wait, if it is in fact Heday, that works well with my whole notion and idea with the Marde stuff, who scooped up Marde off of Ru as well after the attack on Yoshitoki. Makes far more sense, because I remember saying, I mean, that was my main thing, is that there has to be some sort of alliance, and potentially Amon had been in contact with Heday, and then Marde is now in league with Heday, having him, the three of them realistically being the ones that have the most revelations that were never part of or are privy to the inner circle of E prior. I don't know. I'm not gonna read too much into it right now. If it is, though, that's fucking crazy. If it is, that's fucking crazy. Let's go, bro. Let's go. We're at, yeah, he looks fucking crazed. Ayato, yeah. What did you press? look at Sato's face too. Yeah, he looks fucking mad. Yo, bro. Holy, this is actually gonna be fucked up. Like, look at that. For something rooted in a Lukaku Kako, that is obscene, dude. That's bulky as all fuck. This, no lie, is on, like, he looks like Yuppie from Hunter x Hunter, and Azura from Asura's Wrath, like, made some sort of baby. That shit's crazy, dude. From the jump, complete lack of control, even though it seemingly was his own will that triggered that reaction after he was awoken. The Duchess said, I remember the chapter for Saiko, which I still don't get, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious as to what that initial thought is that he's having there. The case we were analyzing, wait, what? What did you press? The case we were analyzing, I'm guessing still goes back to that Saiko. I don't fucking know. I'm not even. I can't have time for that dialogue. Are you? Of course. Shit was getting hype. It's on the cusp of a fucking Kaneki Amon battle. That destiny repeating itself yet again. And we gotta cut. I mean, if we're gonna cut, at least we're cutting. Look at that. Getting a nice shot of Xiao's ass. At least we're cutting to my girl Saiko and Xiao. At the very least, because I really wanted to see this right now. I would have been if well, all you need to do is tell Ayato and Sato to stand back, bro, because I don't want all of them going in against him either. It needs to be that one-on-one. Gotta shut him down. It almost runs parallel to the birth of Centipede in a way. And then Amon being there at the time, finding him in this lab and everything too. Which I'm the most curious about, like who, unless it was all part of, yeah, it was probably directly under Tsuneyoshi's control, prior. So I would venture that Fuerta still maintains. I mean, all rooted through V, of course, but interesting. It's just beyond that building. Hige! Bro, look at his face. I mean, I can't even fault him. The man did get one of his arms sliced off and the other one ripped the fuck off. But he looks dead as fuck, dude. Hige Maru. Shao, get the medic squad. Yes. Why'd he insist on being so reckless? Hige, you idiot. Bro, honestly, I can't even. There was nothing Hige could have done, man. The dude just got wrecked by the Supreme Lord. by a finger of the Supreme Lord, rather. No. Let's not. What? Oh, okay. I was about to say, let's not do this, please. Let's not have Saiko challenge Donato. I can't have that. I got thrown the fuck off for a second. I was looking at these heads, thinking one of them was Uri. I was like, nah, when did this happen? You can't do shit like that. But nah, it's clearly not. Uri is probably still struggling right now. Man completely destabilized him. Going past fifth room is obscene in and of itself. God, Saiko, we need to hurry. That awareness, though, catching a glimpse of the man. I don't even want to read into that swift turn, as if to say it's not even. None of this is worth my time. He might have sensed a little something in Saiko, though. That's a fucking based panel, dude. Donato is a fucking lord. Holy shit. They're above us. No, dude. This is even more fucked up. Damn. Wait, how? Yo! And look at that face. Dude, Kakaja is starting to form on him. He's legit forming a Kakaja mask. Those eyes are fucked up too, dude. This is the way that's drawn. That's legitimately. Leave it to Lord Ishida, man. The pupils in completely disparate directions. That tongue game. The beginning of it. And that formation too. I mean, to me, that's how generally, from what we've seen, when somebody with Kokaku has Kakaja, their mask begins forming in that way. It kind of reminds me of the beginning of half Kakaja Yamori, but that's the thing. So you're telling me at this stage, just breaking that, I want to know what his RC levels are then. I really want to know what his RC levels are. Because just that one discrepancy, I mean, how far was he put? Am I missing something? For it to raise that much, for him to start forming Kakaja, sans cannibalism. This is madness, dude. This is absolute madness. I swear to God, if anything happens to Shao or Saiko. Hold on. Okay, that was clean. I'm not gonna lie. Shao's the motherfucking MVP because Saiko hesitated. But is anybody else noticing, like, In this chapter alone, I mean, it's been an established thing ever since Xiao's been introduced. I've seen it time and time again in every single chapter she's in. But in this chapter alone, 3 different ass shots, 3 separate panels of Xiao ass. Bro, you know Ishida loves that shit. Xiao, are you all right? Did he clip her? I mean, it might have hit her leg. I would have expected her to guard with the blades that she has down there. There's 2 A-class Quinka that she has strapped to the fucking... Uri is... It's no use. He's framed out. He's not coming back. Dude, I mean... The man warned him. The man did warn him. There has to be a way. But I mean, at this rate, if I swear to God, man, if they make it so Saiko has to kill Uri, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I can't witness something like that. I'm not bearing witness to that shit. I'm not doing that shit. Must surpass Kisho Arima. Because the stronger you are, the better. Duh, dude, my son. Even though it's just a flashback. Just a little bit of my son Shirazu. It takes me back, bro. It takes me back to when times were much more carefree and lighthearted. To make the ultimate form. Saiko! Absolute greatness. To make the ultimate Four Eyes army. No lie. That sounds real as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds real as fuck. It sounds dangerous. When First Class Sasaki went completely berserk, only Arima was able to stop him. Which means we must be able to act as Heisei Sasaki's stopgap. We gotta stop Sensei? Right now, I don't think even all 4 of us could do it. Damn straight. Back then, you couldn't have. Now, I don't know, to be quite honest. Now, if the 4 of you were still there, together, and went in at this simultaneously, who knows how far Shirazu would come at this point, too. Still, it's fucking it's the king, man. It's the fucking king. So I wouldn't put it past him to decimate all of them, regardless. Even with Saiko's potential, leaving the stamina issue aside, and even in light of both Uri and Mitsuki's growth, I'd still say he could go in. What if instead of Mama, one of us loses it? The same goes for us Qs. In the rare event that one of us loses control, we are to be considered S-rate ghouls and will be exterminated. Huh? You serious? I don't want to die at the hands of my friends. I'll tell you, that line, dude, Shirazu. That much. Nah, my boy. You went out in the complete opposite fashion, sacrificing yourself for them. True real. And that's why we have our frames. We are all weapons far more than Sasaki ever was. Save the most extreme of circumstances, our frames will not break. That is, we will not frame out. Let me make this clear. If this fate ends up befalling any of you, I will not hesitate. Because we have been bestowed... Yo! Holy... Bro, it's developing far too quickly! Bro, this is madness. This is madness. We've bestowed power that far surpasses that of the average mortal. We are also shackled with the responsibility to quietly and quickly disappear if needs must. I mean, yet you... See, that's the thing. I guarantee you if he had his senses about him, he'd probably tell them to go ahead and finish him off. but you're the one that took that risk, because you desired that power and to get stronger. Yeah, man. Completely manipulated by Nanato as well. But he had resolved himself to do it from far beforehand as well. So I can't even prepare for battle. The cues will save Ray. Saiko! Let's go, bro. Let's fucking you know what? Let me get the shades. Let me get the shades because this panel is too bright. The Saiko shine is too real right now. Look at her. I knew she couldn't do it. All right, I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy right now. Hey, Uri. Saiko doesn't want anyone to die. My goddess, bro. Absolute perfection. It's exactly how I feel, Saiko. And if anyone's going to stop this, it's going to be you. The only thing is, I don't know how you're going to go. And look at you. This is insane. I've never. Who is there? Anybody else? Is there any other Kakaja we've seen develop that quickly? I mean, yes, he simply just broke through all the frames. Probably completely left his RC levels to rise as high as they could possibly escalate in that short amount of time. Maybe it triggered that effect. But this is like the fastest venture to Kakaja I've seen. It's not even have like this. It looks like he's going straight up full Kakaja. Which if he does, I don't care, dude. They're gonna have to go hard right now. Saiko's gonna have to transcend everything she's ever done. To kill, dude. See, this is the thing too, because you know damn well if Uday could speak to her, he'd say to kill him. He'd tell her to kill him. But after everything she's been forced to do, especially with the Amon thing, which I don't know if she believes that she had killed him in that instance or what. I don't think any of them know the true outcome of that circumstance. Uday is swallowed by his ghoul powers. What fate awaits him? Saiko makes her move. Bro, this is fucking amazing. That last page is fucking a hype. Saiko going in, bro. This is one of the things I've wanted to see for so long. Not even just her going in physically, but her taking charge and resolving herself. No matter which way that goes. Dope chapter. Really, really dope chapter. Oh, man. I want to think about this Amon stuff some more, and the Scarecrow shit, too. Let me go back. Yeah, that flashback killed me. I want to think about this right now, because the man came in there with that suppression gas that they often used in Cochlea. This panel is crazy. I mean, I'm going to confirm that because I want to confirm that because I don't. When I checked it a second ago, I didn't see it either. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about that. But there's no general dialogue from him either. Yeah, there's no general dialogue from him either. Wait, what? I don't see that shit. Hold on. This? I didn't notice that. So apparently Scarecrow has a scar. In the still area. I mean, I can vaguely see it. But if it kind of goes up further up the neck. I honestly, if that's the case, that would explain the speech pattern as well. But I don't want it to be like precluded like that, especially if it does turn out to be Heday. I'm not sold on that either, even though I do like the idea of it. But oh man, this is crazy. I like this relation. I want insight into it. We're not gonna get it for a while longer. Let me see what's up with the chat, bro. Let me go back to this because the other thing that I want to talk about. I can't believe you force fed him like that. Is this little flashback within the flashback with the man in the fucking tenderizer? Like what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? All right, let's see what's up with this chat. Even though I despise, I hope this chat is chill. I really do. Cause like I've run away from the CCG with Uriye. I mean, it depends on the state that he's in after this confrontation. Realistically, good luck getting the RC suppressants. I mean, if they had some on deck, it would be perfect for this moment. And control. I want to join Toxin and okay, but go. I don't see that outcome unless there's an interaction with Kaneki, which hasn't happened. So what about Arata? The only way to save him is to probably rip out his entire Kako and suppress the fuck out of him with RC suppressants, which Shu is currently trying to get those. I mean, I don't see them coming back here anytime soon either, unless they. I think the suppressants is probably the way to go. Ripping out his Kako isn't to solve anything, dude. Saiko doesn't have that kind of finesse. Tai's eye is out. Hold on. Tai's eye is out. Tai's eye is out. And fairy garbage. Kaneki already lost control there, I think. Wait, who? What happened? Saiko about to use the power of friendship. No, that nonsense. No, they'll never make its way into this series. Makes it sound so simple to just they don't have any of those things. Saiko and Shao have none of those things. Back from Kakaja Berserk was Kaneki said if I remember correctly. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just want to know what method Saiko is going to use to achieve that. Yeah, no, Saiko. That last page. Aside, I think the only other thing that got me more hype is one that Amon panel, which that shit is disturbing. That shit is really twisted. Then the Scarecrow thing. But Saiko is probably the most hype part of the chapter. Saiko is probably definitely the most hype part of this chapter. Process. There's an out of force fed him some of his own flesh to trigger Urian to become. Bro, what if that was the whole purpose of that? I mean, I feel like Ishida would have shown it. Let me go back to that chapter. At no point during their interaction did it seem like any of that transpired after Urde snapped. But I could easily see Donato doing something that twisted. Or somehow just forcibly implanted it into him. That was the whole point of the little finger. That would just be madness, though. That would be absolutely insane. Get wrecked. He should have received the Ayato treatment. As long as it's Kaneki one-on-one with Amon, that's all I need to see. Because I have no doubts in my mind. Nobody's touching Kaneki right now. Nobody out here is going to get like the Furuto altercation or get some of those lurking behind the scenes. I don't think they're touching him right now. Amon berserk Kakaja elected Kaneki again, bro. Nah, the man can't lose. What's wrong with the Amon flashback? I like the Amon flashback. Four Eyes Army, dude. Please have me makes an appearance before we end the part. Seriously doubted at this point. At this point, I'm done holding my breath. I think the progression kind of precludes that. But I mean, it potentially could. Congratulations, your Amon has evolved into a Machamp. Bro, that's what it looked like, man. Some straight up Ashra shit. Like the man had I've never seen something like that. For an Ukaku based Kakuo to generate something that bulky. Ridiculous. I mean, to me, that's like unless it's like something that Ishida's threaded throughout and slipped beneath the surface. Because knowing it, Ishida could easily do that, dude. He'd done it before. I think the entirety of Furuta's character construction is just that, Ishida doing something that profound. But I think the most readily, the most for me, the most reliable conclusion that we can make off of this right now would be Heday. I mean, I people have been throwing that theory around from the beginning. If this shit about the scar is accurate too, that I'm reading here, I mean, it's super vague, man. It's super vague. I can kind of see it, but then I guarantee you, people are gonna start being like, "Yo, that's like when Kaneki ate like bits of him. That's why he can't speak like that. Probably ate out his throat or some shit like that." And this is why his speech is all distorted. I don't like that for Heday. I need Heday to be able to speak, bro. But yeah, see, I see this. I see the scar now. I see the scar. It probably stretches up where there's probably like a good deal of scarring around his neck and face and lower face. The foie gras reference is how they force feed ducks or whatever to make it. Ah. See, I've never had foie gras before. I know it's like what, like duck liver or some shit like that. What it said. Yeah. Made of liver of a duck or goose that has been specially fattened by force feeding. That's disgusting, bro. That's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. Okay, I'm caught up on the chat now, which means that there's probably a bunch of shit at the bottom that I didn't see. It was really nice to see Shirazu, if only in the flashback. It really was quite nice. I know. I saw the other two chambers with the re on them, but I'm not entirely sure what they contain. I'm not even gonna bother thinking about it because we go. I mean, after seeing all the Rise clones, I'm fucking done. Fucking done. False hope. No. Saiko needs shine. I mean, I could easily see some fucked up shit happening with Saiko's character after this, but she needs to shine before it happens. I think Uri is a much more volatile state, although I think he's more essential to progression right now. Shao better be all right. I'll tell you that much right now. I don't want Sato involved in that unless it was like a free for all type of thing. Like I don't want 2-on-1 against Amon, dude. It needs to be one person. Even if you want to send Saito out there to verse him, that's fine. I'll watch that. Scarecrow equals Donato's finger. Oh, man. Sure, help him on escape in that flashback. Yes. It's exactly what happened. And then they've clearly been in league this entire time, which bolsters my thought process. That's Heday. If that falls into line with everything I've been saying about Heday, Marude, Amon, etc. So I like that conception far more now than I ever did. And I have to disagree, Dark. There is a difference. Even chickens are fattened up to have more meat on them. It's a normal thing that happens. Yes, they're fattened up. They're fed normally, not force fed. When you fucking shove food into something's mouth so that it's not being chewed, but it's just straight up going down their throat, that's fucking disgusting. Might be Shirazu in one of the tanks. The thing about that is you have to think about the fact that this isn't a lab controlled by Kano. And I would venture that, I mean, unless somehow they got a hold of Shirazu's course, but I think that with the whole Gagi and Gugi thing and Kano mastering the Q's experimentation, he still probably has access to Shirazu's body. So it could potentially be that, but this isn't Kano's facility. So I don't know, unless there's some weird shit going on beneath the surface there that I'm not even privy to. Kano. Exactly. Shirazu's body should be with Kano. If Shirazu, I mean, I could still see that whole resurrected Shirazu thing happening. It's gonna pay, like I've said ever since the time of his death, or the chapter after where the body was stolen, and I and everyone else at the time were speculating that he was gonna come back in that way. It's still gonna fucking break me if it happens. Pause the LP for any other Tales games. Nah, I mean, I have no intention of replaying any Tales games in the near future. Like, I'm just gonna finish Berseria. Way too many other things to play. The Neo Rage is about to start on Tuesday, so if you really want to see a fun LP, come to the Neo stream, because I know if you like seeing me rage, probably gonna have fun at those streams. Not to make a finger clone and to make a different face for it, bro. That's it's not impossible. It's not impossible. That'd be pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought about that. I mean, never realistically seen Uta make a replicated face on anyone but himself. So I don't know if he can transfer his ability onto other people like that. Marde was the one who gave Scarecrow the CRC gas to rescue Amon. Maybe. I mean, if it is, yeah, I could have seen him just pocketing some back in the day, but if you're whoever the people out of the lab, I think they're most interested in more powerful characters, so to speak. Shirazu was quite weak. It doesn't matter. His body was a prime example of the successful Q surgery, which is rare as fuck at the time. So, unless Heday really turned into a ghoul, I don't see him as Scarecrow. I didn't think Ghoul have rank C rating already. Yeah, Scarecrow is a rank C ghoul. But see, I also don't like the idea of Heday being ghoulified. But if his injuries were that grievous, it might be essential. I don't know. I'm not gonna think about that either, because things aren't always what they seem. It doesn't really have to be. Nothing's holding him to that. I'm gonna come back with this question. When are you going to Demichan live reaction? Well, I'm gonna end this now. This has gone on way too long, and then as soon as this ends, I'm going to work on the thumbnail, and then I'm going to do the Taizai chapter first since it's out, and then I will do Demi-chan Ruby after that, and Mahotsukai no Yome second OVA should be out by the time I'm done with all of that, and I'll do that, and that'll be it for the day. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for coming through. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the reaction. Next week, most likely, I mean, you guys were this was actually a really nice chat, but if I'm going to stream next week or if we're just going to go back to the videos. Really depends on my schedule. So with that said, I'm going to get up out of here. Peace.